Hi friends, thank you so much for being here. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a fresh summer makeup look. This has been my go-to makeup look over the past couple of weeks, really focusing in on the skin, glowy skin, looking sunburned, sun-kissed. The eyes are gonna be super light, so if you want to see my take on a fresh summer look, how I go from this to this, then let's go. I'm actually gonna start with the face today. If you've watched any of my other videos, I always start with the eyes, but because eyes are like 2 steps for this look, I actually like to go in and really focus on complexion. So for face primer, I've really been trying to get through this REM Beauty blurring primer. This is a mini size because it is a part of my project pan and I do have to do an update for you guys. This doesn't help with longevity like at all, but I do like how hydrating and smoothing it is. But I do want to spot conceal with my REM Beauty concealer, especially like in this area around the mouth. I don't know what is going on. Going in with just a little bit of my powder, and I'm taking this really fluffy powder brush. This is a dual-ended brush from Lunar Beauty. And I take the tiniest little bit of powder and really work it into the cap and just lightly go over the places that I spot concealed. This has been one of my favorite combinations for foundation. So I start off with my e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter in the shade number 4 medium, and then I go in with my Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted moisturizer. And I go in with a really small amount because I don't want to overload my face with product. So this is all that I'm using to cover my entire face. And just like with any base product, I always go over with the finger and spread it out first. Most of the time I go in with a foundation brush to blend this in, but I've been using a sponge just to get that lighter and dewier kind of finish. After I've basically blended it all in, then I'll flip over my sponge to a cleaner side and just get any excess. For concealer, I've still been using my Physicians Formula. This is just my favorite concealer, both drugstore high-end out of all of them. This has been my number one for a really long time, and I can see that I'm almost done with this. I'm gonna have to take out the stopper soon because I've been having to scrape. That's how much I use this concealer. It's my daily go-to concealer. I honestly don't reach for any other concealer. This one is super liquidy, so I like to let this sit for at least a minute. I know that sounds like a really long time, but with this concealer, it will not completely dry down within a minute. And while my concealer sits, that's when I start doing my eyebrows. So I'm still using the Instant Lift Waterproof from e.l.f. And I always take a spoolie and really go through them just in case any foundation or powder gets in them. It makes it super quick just to run through my brows and give them a little bit of a tint. And then I'll go back in with my spoolie and just soften that color. Now, because this is not a precise product, I do usually have to go in with a little bit of concealer and just clean up, specifically along the top. Pausing brows to finally blend out this concealer. And I love this Kosas sponge. I've never seen another sponge with such a pointed tip to really get underneath the eyes. It's also really great to like clean up your contour. And I'll take the excess from my sponge and I like to bring it down in the center of my face and also on my chin. That way it's not just super bright in one area of my face. I just find it's way more flattering. My camera was not recording. That's a little bit annoying, but I did go in with my highlight. I was saying that usually I would go ahead and set that concealer immediately, but with this Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer in Mesmerize, this is the pinky shade, it doesn't like to work well on top of anything that's dry or has been set with powder. So whenever I use this, I do have to go ahead and just apply it onto something wet. So I will apply it after I've applied my concealer and all my cheek products, and then at the end, I will go in with powder. I do find that it gives like the most beautiful glow. As you can see, it's super natural, very pearlized, no flecks of glitter, anything. You can't see any particles at all, but it only really works with a finger. I've tried using it with a sponge or with a brush, and it just does not want to blend evenly. It just wants to lift off and attach to the tool and not actually sit on the skin. So it does definitely have some cons, but for a summer look like this, I'm willing to take those extra steps to get this super natural kind of glow. For bronzer, I'm using my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer. This is the best for the summer because it is so long wearing, and also just for quick, easy makeup looks. It is so easy. I could just sit here and like not even look at my mirror, and I could just blend where I think it should go, and it'll look good. It's so good for beginners, but the longevity is really where it's at with this product because it dries down to a powdery kind of finish. The difference, no bronzer, bronzer. And I will flip the brush over to get this small side and just take a tiny little bit. And I always like to go right underneath the button of my nose to make my nose look a little bit more turned up. Also, take some right underneath my chin. It's just a very subtle step, but especially from the side profile, I feel like it makes a huge difference. Now for the best part, blush. I cannot put down this one specific REM Beauty lip and cheek stick. I'll have the name down below, but this is like the mauve color, and then I have this pinky one in Audition. These have been a go-to for the past 2 summers for me because they are super pigmented, but they're long wearing. They're a cream, but they do wear like a powder, and I've been wanting to try like that sunset blush trend that's been going around. So let's see. So this one is the Audition shade, and then this other one is that mauve color. Using my IT Cosmetics number 7, this is my favorite for blush. And I really like to go like right into the corner of my eye, because when I get sunburnt right here because this is the highest part of my cheek. So that's where I've been putting my blush, like basically blending it into my concealer and into my eye. That color, I don't know if it's giving sunset so much that they just like blended into a different color, but a lot of makeup is really just like the feeling and the routine of it, not being so concerned with like the outcome, at least for me. Like I just like doing different combinations of things and just playing around and having fun. As you can see, you can literally just dot these directly onto the face. They're not going to lift up anything, and they're not going to dry down and be patchy and hard to move. I think this is one of REM Beauty's most underrated products, if not like their most underrated product. I will take just whatever tiny little bit is left and go right on the forehead. I'm still using my Kokie Full Coverage Concealer as eye primer, as opposed to my Milani one, because this one does give coverage, and I do like that it completely cancels out all of my darkness. This concealer is basically a drugstore dupe for the original Tarte Shape Tape. I don't like it underneath the eyes. I find it's too heavy and drying. But if your face can handle like heavier products, I can't. Like my face can't handle like a lot of makeup. But if you have oily skin or you can handle a lot of product, I think you would really like this concealer. Back into my powder. You already know what it is. The same powder I use every single time. And I will go quickly after and go ahead and set that. I need to set the under eyes. Creased a little bit. That Physicians Formula concealer does crease because it is so like liquidy and hydrating. So I just blend out the creases with the tip of my Kosas sponge. I've been taking a powder puff. I really only use a powder puff in the summer because that is when I'm quote unquote the oiliest. I have dry skin, but in the summer I can get away with like loading up more powder. So I'll take a hefty amount on my powder puff. I just get these off of Amazon, but I will always go ahead and really work it in and get any of that excess, which there's always excess. And then I look up into my mirror and I just really press. And I do take it down again into the center of my face. And then I'll take the very end with like barely anything left on the puff. I will just go on my forehead. I have the desire to spray my face now. Usually I wait until like everything is done, but I think I'm gonna use setting spray twice just to really lock this makeup in. So with the Wanna Be Free setting spray from Ulta Beauty Collection, this is their matte setting spray. So good. For eyes, with this look, I normally go in with whatever bronzer I went in with, but with the Luminous Putty bronzer, it's like really hard to pick up in the pan and use as eyeshadow, so I'm going in with my trusty dusty e.l.f. quad that I'm almost finished with. And I go into this warmer mid-tone brown. I start in my crease, at the edge of my crease, and really just work in place. I'm holding my brush at the very edge so I'm not getting a lot of pressure. And I will just blend in place. And then I'll start to sweep towards the temple because I want a lifted kind of effect. It's basically just contouring the eye. Honestly, a lot of the times I just stop right here. I might put that bone color all over the lid, but today I'm gonna spice things up. Not really a lot, but I do want to add a shimmer. This is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow stick. This is in the light gold shade in Integrity, and I just start as close to the root of my lashes in the center of my lid. I do think these are pretty finicky. That might be an unpopular opinion. I love the effect, but I do find that they don't like to be layered, and you kind of have to blend just with the product itself. Like if I go in with a finger, it will lift off and just create weird textures. So this definitely isn't the best eyeshadow stick formula in my opinion, but I really reached for it because these are super long lasting and the effect is undeniable. They're so reflective. I'll also go ahead and put this in the inner corner. And I'll drag it a little bit onto the lower lash line. Makes you look cutesy and a little bit more awake. That's all for eyes. We're gonna do mascara in a second, but I have been in love with this freaking Rare Beauty brow gel. I've spoken about it in the past 2 videos, I think, and this has become my favorite brow gel. I still love my Kosas Air Brow, but I definitely like this one better than the clear Kosas Air Brow. It has a way better hold and just flattens the brow hairs for that laminated effect that I want. I'm still loving my IT Cosmetics Lash Blowout Mascara. I wore that the other day actually, but I've also really been liking the Tower 28 one. And I don't wear lashes with this look. This is so freaking long wearing and smudge proof. And if you know, you know, I am super picky about mascaras for the lower lashes. I only really like the e.l.f. Lash and Roll and the IT Cosmetics one for my lower lashes, but this one has been added to that list. Mascara is on, makes the biggest freaking difference. And I do use a lash serum. If you've ever wondered about my lashes, I have had people in person ask me like if my lashes are just naturally like that. Unfortunately, they're not. I do use a lash serum, so I want to give a shout out to the best lash serum. I've bought like 4 or 5 of these. I already have a backup, but it is the Babe Lash Essential Lash Serum. It's expensive, I know. In my opinion, the best, most effective, fast acting. Like, you'll see a difference within a week. Within 2 weeks, you'll definitely see a big difference. So if you don't want to wear false lashes, if you just want to rock your natural lashes, this is definitely the way to go. I've been super into lip stains and just like long wearing lip combinations. So I've been getting back into my Moira Lip Appeal waterproof lip pencils. These are the most budge proof lip pencils I've ever tried, and also one of the most affordable. I believe these are only $7.50. Now this lip stain is the star of the show. I spoke about this last year and I've been wearing it a lot, this specific combination, a lot recently. And this is the Cezanne Watery Lip Tint in 01. This is basically the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil, but way better. Like, I actually don't like the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil, and this specific one in 01 is very, very similar. I would say it's a dupe for Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil in Hope. This is the final makeup look I love. It's so simple. It's giving juicy apple. The lip combination, this lip combination eats. Like, this is definitely going to be a contender for like top 3 lip combos for the summer. I just love how glowy and natural it is. The eyes with the shimmer give a nice little pop. If you want more reviews, tutorials, get ready with me's, and other makeup things, then like, comment, subscribe. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. And I will see you in the next one.